Hi, this is Sweet June 2010, coming back at you. Beautiful afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Uh, this is on the heels of my other video that I just did about women. We got to make better choices. This is on the heels of that. Um, I'm passionate about what's going on in the black community, but I'm also passionate about what's happening in the women's community as well. Um, because I hate to see um, females go through some of the things that they're going through, and all I can think about is it's not necessary, for them to go through the things, but it's the mindset of the reason why they're going through it, you know. Not saying the men don't have a responsibility. Oh yeah, they have a responsibility. But women, it's our mindset. It's the whole. I mean, if you have a different mindset, then you won't be in the situations that you caught yourself up in. Um, I'm gonna title this video "It's Better to Be Single Than to Be Hooked Up with the Wrong Man." Okay, that's what I'm gonna title this video. And it is better to be single than to be hooked up with the wrong man. Now, some women, I did a long time ago. If you would check the archives of my videos, I did a video a long time ago. Yeah, check the archives because this video was done like a long time ago. And I was talking about I did a topic similar to this. You know, I was talking about women having this mentality. It's better to be. It's better to be. Dang, I can't think of it. A piece of man is better than no man type mentality. I think I did a video way back talking about that. Some women have this mentality that a piece of man is better than no man at all. Or a man that's mediocre or that's not right. It's better to having a type of man like that than to not have a man at all. And you know what? That is a dangerous way of thinking. That is a very dangerous way of thinking, ladies. Because basically what you're saying is when you make that statement or when you have that type of mentality or that type of mindset, basically what you're saying is that I'm willing to settle for whatever. Just so I can say I got a man by my side. That's basically what you're saying. That I don't know my self-worth. So I don't know my self-worth, so I'm willing to settle for anything just to say that I have a man in my life. That is a horrible, dangerous way of thinking. That type of thinking can actually cost you your life. When a woman has that type of mentality, it can actually cost her her life. It's a very, very dangerous way of thinking. It's a very dangerous mentality to have. Because you can put yourself in a position to get with a man that is abusive. And the thing is, some of these guys out here, they know that there's a certain percentage of women that think like this. See, men aren't dumb. Some of them are very smart and they're very clever. Don't get it twisted. And some of these men know, a lot of these men know, that there is women out there, it's a certain percentage of women out there that have this mentality. So those are the ones that they prowl on. Those are the ones that they look for. See, they don't look for the stable women. They don't look for the women that are confident And the women that are secure with themselves and that know their worth and saying, yeah, keep walking, buddy. Keep it moving. See, they're not looking for them women because they know them women are not going to put up with that. See, they know those women, those self-assured women, and know their worth and everything. They know, they're going to keep it moving because they know that that woman ain't going to put up with that. But they look for the women that have a low self-esteem and a low self-worth, that have that type of mentality, that have that type of thinking. And those are the ones that they prowl on. Those are the ones that they gravitate towards. Because they feel like they can get away with anything. He can come up in your house, lay up, eat up all your food, suck up your heat, your electricity, you watch your cable, lay up there with you and your kids without bringing anything to the table. And he knows you're going to put up with it because you want a man in your life. It's that mindset. See, he knows that you're going to put up with that because you want a man. And like I said, a piece of man is better than no man type mentality is a dangerous way of thinking. That is a dangerous way for a woman to think. Because you put yourself in a position to just put up with any type of situation. You got guys out here that are drug dealers. That they will find a single woman with kids, or she don't have to have kids, weak-minded, looking for money by any means necessary, and they'll move in on the woman, and they roll out of her house, they deal drugs out of her house and everything. And they figure as long as they throwing her some money, she gonna put up with it. But then she's putting her life at risk, and she's putting her freedom at risk. She could get arrested, or she could lose her life. Hanging with a drug dealer is dangerous. You can lose your life over it. You can lose your freedom. You can end up going to prison. But some of these women don't care. It's the mindset. They don't have any self-worth. And some women, all they think about is the almighty dollar by any means necessary, even if the man is a drug dealer. And sometimes in a warped sense of thinking, they might think that this is a good guy. How is he good when he don't even have the enough sense to go make an honest living? A good man is not going to put your life in jeopardy, your safety in jeopardy, your freedom in jeopardy, nor his. He's going to go out and he's going to make an honest living. If he goes to start a business, he's going to start a legitimate business, not an illegal one. That's a good man. Don't get it twisted. But you got a lot of women that are dealing with these types of men. They're letting these drug dealers. I was back in the day. I got a little story to tell you. This was years ago. I was 19. I think I was 19 years old. Ran into. I was working at Burger King. Me and a couple of friends, ladies I went to school with. And these guys, they were from Detroit. Came into Burger King. They was cute, nice looking guys. I'm trying to make a long story short here. They were drug dealers. Now, mind you, I'm only 19 years old. I'm a young girl. I'm a young lady. Small town, small city. Young, just moving out, just getting started on my own. I was able to peep this out. Okay? These guys were drug dealers, but they didn't want us to know that they were drug dealers. And the things that got me, that made me suspicious was the guys wouldn't give me their last name. They wouldn't give us a last name. They just told us their first name, but they wouldn't give us a last name. And then they wouldn't tell us what they did, because most guys, I mean, most time you meet a guy, that's the first thing he gonna tell you is his first and last name. They wouldn't tell us where they worked at. They wouldn't tell what they did for a living. That was another clue that I had. Then also, they had a whole knot. In other words, they had a whole fistful of money. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, where is he getting all this money? Why won't he tell me where he works? And why won't he give me a last name? Well, to make a long story short, the couple girls that I was hanging with, they was kind of in denial about the whole situation, and I was trying to tell them that these guys were drug dealers. But they were kind of in denial about the whole situation. Well, to make a long story short, the guy came to my apartment. I was just starting out, so I had nothing in this apartment. No furniture, no anything. And this guy offered to furnish my whole apartment if I let him roll out of my apartment. Now, this was before I didn't even know who Jehovah's Witnesses were back then. I was not a Christian. I was in the world. Was not a Christian. Was not going to church. He came to my apartment and asked me, in so many words, can he roll out of my house? And that was the first time in my life I had ever seen crack cocaine. And I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to, I'm not going to say anything, whatever. But I appreciate it if you would just leave. I said, I can't do this. I can't. I'm not putting myself in jeopardy. I'm not getting arrested. You can't do this. And he offered to furnish my whole apartment. At the time, I had no furniture in my apartment. He said, I'll give you everything you need. And unfortunately, I did kind of like the guy until I found out he was a drug dealer. And I was like, nah. I told him, I said, I appreciate if you leave. I'm not going to say anything. But I was kind of scared because I didn't know what, because I was afraid that, I don't want him to think I know too much or whatever. But he did. And he did just that. He left. He left. I said, I don't want no part of it. To make a long story short, I told him that I wanted no part of it. And like I said, at the time, the little ladies that I was hanging with, they were in denial. And I was trying to tell them that these guys were drug dealers. Now, mind you, I'm only 19 years old. Just getting started on my own. Had no type of exposure to any people like that growing up. But I was able to peep these guys out. See, mama didn't raise no fool. And so I said, no, I don't need furniture and stuff that bad that, I'm willing to risk my safety and risk my freedom. And I said, I appreciate it if you leave. I don't want no part of this. And he did. So that's what you got to do. You might make a stand. But some women will allow these guys to come into their... See, he thought that I would do it. He was from Detroit, from a big city. I was from a small town. He thought that he could come in and, rock my world. And he thought that I was going to let him do it. I said, no, I'm not doing that. I wasn't having that. And that was a common theme, guys coming in from Detroit and then getting into these ladies' houses and dealing drugs out their houses. And he thought that he was going to do that with me. I said, no, I'm not having it. He went on about his merry little way. See, but some of these women out there allow that. See, I said I'd rather be by myself than to be with somebody that is in that type of lifestyle. But some of these women will settle for the guys like that. They settle for that, and then there's a huge price that they have to pay for it. See, when you have that type of mentality and when you have that type of mindset, you put your safety in jeopardy. You have any children, you put their safety in jeopardy. You put their lives in jeopardy. You put your freedom, you take the chance of losing your freedom and going to prison. Why? Because you had to have a man? It's not worth it. It's better to be single and alone than to be with somebody that It's doing this. It's putting your safety and your freedom at risk. Then you got some guys that are actually using drugs and they get involved with these women, and these women put up with it. Just so in the name of having a man in their life. Just so they can say that they got a man and they're not alone. But you know, in reality, everybody looking at you like you stupid. You know? Women are getting put up with getting beaten, abused. And I know that is not easy to get out of those situations. Sometimes when a woman is being abused and a man is threatening her, I know that it's not easy for a woman to get out of a situation like that. But they have shelters all over the country that you can go to if you feel threatened. If a woman feels threatened, if a woman feels like a man is threatening her, she can leave the town that she's in and go somewhere else. And there's shelters in every city specifically designed for battered women and abused women. And you can go to these shelters and they will help you. They will help you in these shelters, and they will give you all the resources that you need to get out of this situation, particularly if you have children. So you can get out of it. It's not easy to get out of it, but you can get out of it. I'm not going to say it's easy because it's not easy. But I'm just saying, ladies, don't put up with this. If somebody's watching this video and they know somebody that's in an abusive type situation, tell her she can get out, even if she got to leave town. You know, help her to try to come up with some things so you can help her get out, because it could cost her life. Is having a man that important? Is having a man in your life that important? That is more important than your life? Is more important than your freedom? I think not. I'd rather be alone every day of the week. I'd rather be alone and have a peace of mind than to be with somebody that is abusing me, or be with somebody that is going to cost me my life, or someone that's going to cost me my freedom. I can't have no peace of mind. I'd rather be by myself than to be with somebody that is messing with anything, involving my peace of mind, my sanity, my freedom. It's not worth it. My safety. It's not worth it. This mentality is better to have a piece of man than no man at all. That's a dangerous way of thinking. Because you can't settle for less. It's better to be alone than to be hooked up with the wrong guy. Don't get it twisted, ladies. Particularly if you have children. Why would you want to expose your children to this type of lifestyle? Whatever the man is doing. If he's doing illegal activities, your kids ain't got no business around that. You got to love your kids. You got to have enough respect and love for your kids to not put them in a situation like that. Even if it means that you have to struggle. Because if you believe in God, Jehovah God makes a way. He will make a way for you. He makes a way out of no way. And you might not get the things that you want, but at least your kids are safe. A home is their house is supposed to be a safe haven. Not a dangerous den. But a lot of women, they put their children's life and they let these guys come in. And what kills me is that these women will let these guys come in and take care of their kids. They're more selective about the daycare that they choose than the guys that they choose to keep company with. And then they having these same guys babysit their kids, and then the guys they wind up killing the kids. They wind up I'm so tired of hearing cases like that. I don't know what to do. I am so tired of hearing cases like that where these women are letting these guys come in and take care of their kids, and they're abusing their children and they're killing their kids. At the end of the day, Most men don't want to be bothered with somebody else's kids. Unless he's just one of those special type of men. But these women are not using the course of wisdom. They're not taking the time to find out what type of man they're dealing with. Because they want to have a man in their life so bad. They're not taking the time to stand back and take a look at this guy and realize you can't just have anybody around your kids. You can't just bring any type of person around your kids. There's such a thing called a background check. You got to do background checks on people. Okay, I might be talking about this further. This is Sweet June 2010.